fucking end. But in the back, I wanna get higher. I can call my go-to guy, yo. Got no baby, was fly, yo. I'm about to break one down with my supplies, yo. Roll up some gas, I'm not talking a car. Shout she bad, fuck around, take to the store. Brand new dash, I got brand new cash. Brand new G, got her brand new ass. Get past work, tight, about to drink a whole lot of syrup. But the Billy go missing, standing the curve. Watch the scene go missing. Welcome to Life Talk 21, the show that is designed to motivate you, to inspire you, and to give you strategies to help you live in the 21st century and not just live, but I want you to be successful. And I am your host, Eric Wortham, behavior specialist, educator, author, speaker, and naval disabled veteran. And today I just want to briefly talk to you. I just have I've been looking at some great quotes from some great people in the past, just things that they said, years and years and years ago that are still, if we do them, they still work today. Still work today. One of them is Gandhi. That's who Martin Luther King Jr. Based his whole thing off of, was Gandhi. And that was his nonviolence approach to civil rights. So these are kind of people. Albert Einstein has a quote in here, but it's just amazing when I think about these things, how if we actually do them, they work. They really do. Here's the first one: violence produces more violence, makes individuals insensitive to pain. See, and you know what? I don't know who said that one. That might be mine. Hey, I'm dead serious though. That might be mine because I have a lot of quotes that I just came up with and I just write them down, and I can't like remember all of them, but that might be that might be one of mine though, for real. But violence produces more violence, and it makes individuals insensitive to pain, and sometimes that's what we get is that insensitivity because we see something so often. We become insensitive to it. We do. So if you use violence all the time, even verbally, it don't have to be physically all the time, verbally. If you use it all the time, you're explosive all the time, yeah, you're going to become insensitive to, some of that pain. And sometimes that's why you can see people you think they look like they don't care. Sometimes they don't. But violence does. It produces more violence. And I see it in some of our kids because of our explosive way of bringing them up. Aggression is a thing that you tend to deal with a lot. But that might be me. I don't know. I'm just being totally honest. That may be my quote. But I know this one is Gandhi. I know this one. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Be the change. That's where it is right there. It's about being the change that you wish to see in the world. It's about modeling. That's the thing that we don't do. See, what we do now is we tend to settle and accept, but we don't model. That's the best way. If you want to be a change agent, the best way that you be a change agent is you consistently do the things that you want to see other people do. Man, that sounds so simple. And it is, but it works. It works. I taught those kind of kids for 12, 13 years. And I'm telling you, I was successful, really successful at changing their behavior because I modeled the behavior that I wanted them to display. But I was cool too because I know, so I came from,
the hood. So I know some of that mentality, so as a connection as well, but the bottom line is it's about modeling. We spend too much time trying to defend things that we don't even live ourselves. It's just because we don't know ourselves. That's another subject. But being the change that you want to see in people, that will change the divide that we have significantly. It will. Being the change, doing it, because I know I've talked to people that has given up and say, well, everybody else is doing it. And that, unfortunately, too many people are doing that way. And the last one is an ounce of patience is worth more than a ton of preaching. So you do patience really, really helps you. That's how I was able to do what I did is because I was patient. That's why I didn't get upset when they did things. So they did. They cursed. They threw tables and chairs sometimes, but I didn't do the same thing they did. I had to. My job was to show them a better way, and that's what Christ meant when He said, if somebody hits you on this side, turn to the other side. He really meant you have to show them something different. If you do the same thing they do, change it don't even have a possibility of taking place. If we just keep punching at each other, we're gonna eventually wear out or hurt each other. And that's what we're doing. Actually, that is what we're doing. But so it's patience, patience, than a ton of preaching. We want to preach. In this generation, they want to learn. Let me tell you this, and I got a show that's going to prove it. They want to learn, but they don't want you to preach at them, especially the old things that haven't really worked, and they know it. So they don't want that. They want you to give them some real, strategies that they can do here to be able to overcome. Okay? And I still believe it's God because you're loving God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, loving your neighbor as yourself. Those two things are supreme to me. If you do that, I think you'll do well. That's what Eric Wortham said. If you do those two things, because that's what Jesus said, and that's what Paul collaborates as well with Jesus. Well, he uses the same method when he talks about faith. He does. So, it's about patience. If we learn to have a little bit more patience, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. Nonviolence. Martin Luther King used that. By the way, those things worked for Gandhi in India. They worked for Martin Luther King Jr. here. So why do we stop doing them? See, that's what I'm saying. We get so caught up sometimes, and we end up not becoming change agents, but participants in the Great Divide. Think about that. And I said that one. I can't even remember, but we do. We end up being, participants in this Great Divide because we don't do, what Jesus told us to do: love each other. I'm telling you, if we do those, man, I think because you're gonna do naturally other things if you focus on loving God and loving your neighbor. That's what I do. Everything I do is about my family. It's about other people that I deal with and helping people see that they have gifts within themselves. It's here. We just want to bring it out because God gives everybody gifts. I know I have stories about people with special needs, disabilities that are still greatly successful because they found a way to bring out that thing that's in there. And when you do that, and I'm going to end it right here because I have a few things to do. But I have some more of these sayings that are great and they work. Martin Luther King, Gandhi's way, that nonviolence approach, it worked. It worked. It works for me today. In that classroom, it worked. Okay, and I went to Clayton County, DeKalb County, Atlanta. Okay, I went to those schools in addition to spending most of my time in Henry, but I went to those schools just so I can see if it works in any environment. It does. It does. If I was to go call a school right now about being a behavior specialist or anything dealing with that, especially Henry County, the ones that I've been at, I promise you they will make a job for me to come to that school. And again, you're going to see how I'm going to bring some of that into my live taping, the show that we will have once a month. We got to do 6. So we done the first one. We got 5 more, and we're going to see where it goes from there. But you'll see some of those strategies that I use because I understood. I started from what gets this generation going. What do they like? They like to turn up. They do. So I say, hey, man, you give me some of the things I want, I'm going to give you some of the things you want. So you do what you need to do. Come Friday, we're going to let you get the turn up. They want to be engaged. They'll learn if the learning is engaging and relevant. You have to tie it to something that they understand. You have to engage them. They don't want to just be sitting there. They want to talk. Even the shy ones want to be in that environment, where people are talking. They just don't want to be the ones called upon, but they want to be in that environment, So, that's what this show is going to show. How I was able to take those things that these students, this younger generation, that they hip hop, they love it. So guess what I did? I say on that Friday when we turn up, we doing hip hop, the clean versions, of course, but it was hip hop, and it was just as cool because I made a big deal out of it. So that is. That's the gist of it. These things do work, and I know they work. I really do. And I'm going to show it on a bigger and bigger stage that they work. Okay? These are great things, and we're going to finish this up because there was a lot. I had a lot on that list, but I forgot, man. I can talk about all of them, and that's what I want to do. I want to talk about and elaborate on them just a little bit. Okay? So just remember, especially when it comes to love, it still works. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, they were both successful. And for some reason, we stopped and started, tit for tatting. and it hasn't worked. That's why we're divided. Tit for tat, just like children. So just remember, I'm Eric Wortham. Be all you can be by doing all you can do. Thank you.
How your handcuffs and you cuffs in the back of the cab. This looks like it came from the front seat. It's an alcohol. Like I got to sit on it.
What's up, man? Hey, Jeff, hold on, Jeff.